Hello, and welcome to episode 135 of Prog Review. And if you have lost the ability to read and are just generally muzzy-headed in your life, maybe smoke too much pot, I'm going to be talking about a Genesis compilation called Genesis Archive 1967 to 75. I thought after spending so much time talking about some faux Genesis with Steve Hackett, I'd talk about the real thing. We'll do some real Genesis reviews, to kind of redress the balance. And so I thought I'd have a look at this collection, have a little talk about it. Anyway, before I go in deep, I shall hand you over to my good friend Darren, who will show you the box set itself. Are you ready? Take it away, Darren. Yes, hello, and this is the Genesis Archive 1967 to 75. It's a lovely little box set, and there's the band. There they are, all looking young and youthful, and what's there to say? Look, it's a genuine ticket there. You can redeem that at the Shrine Auditorium. There's some discs. These are the shiny things. These were used to transfer music back in the old days. You put them in a player, and a needle runs over the surface and causes a vibration, and that's where the music comes from. You don't see them around much now. These are actually artifacts. That's why it's called the Archive Collection, because these are very, very old. Nobody uses them anymore. Use them for frisbees and coasters. So let's have a look at the booklet itself, because we still have books, I think. Do we still have books? Yes. Anyway, so it's a rather sepia arrangement. The book is perfect bound with a very tight glue. Oh, what's this? Win an exclusive 12-track CD. I wonder if it's too late for me to go in for that. And here we have the original receipt. As you can see, I paid £40, $39.99. How much? On the day it came out. Oh, God, I must have been mad. Anyway. But yeah, it's perfect bound with very tight glue along the seam, so it makes it very hard to read because you don't want to crack the binding. That's one of the things I don't like about this box set, is you have to kind of handle it with great care because you don't want to damage it. But the pictures in it are very nice. Apart from that one there, which is Jonathan King, the king of the pedos. It's okay. He was convicted, so I'm allowed to say that. But as you can see, lovely pictures of the band back in the day when they were all young and youthful, and some of them wore bat wings. It's a nice little document. If you're long in the tooth like me, you've seen a lot of these pictures before, and you've probably read essays like this before, but it does add value to the collection. And this is why I moan about like their Pink Floyd box sets, because back in the day, people used to actually care what went into the content, and there was more than just the music. There was other things, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool at the time. I remember being very impressed by it back then, especially these old pictures of them recording from Genesis to Revelation. I'd never seen those before, so it was all very, very exciting stuff. So yeah, right. So as you can say, because there's a lot to get through. You do get, I was moaning about the price of it, but I would have been pleased at the time because I would have got much for my money. Not only the music, but this lovely, lovely booklet to pore over like an obsessive. Yes. So, are we getting to the end yet? Oh, look at that. See that there? That's what my scrotum looks like now, look. See that there? Yeah. Don't tell the missus. That's why we do it in the dark, But yeah, it's cool. Takes me back. I must admit, I'm getting nostalgic looking at this. Makes me feel kind of old. I shouldn't do these old box set reviews. And but there you go. There's Gabriel in all these masks, and the last gasp as Rail, and then we go back in time again. So it's a nice little thing, and it does illustrate a certain period of the band all too well. It collects up all those odds and ends, especially the great live material. So we're nearly at the end, and that's it. See, they didn't actually name all the members of the band there, which is quite nice. Look, see, except for Ray Wilson, we don't talk about that boy. And that's that. So I'll just put it back together. Maybe I'll do that competition later, and I'll show you what else I've got on the table tonight. Look at this. You'll like this. Look at this. The missus bought me this. This is the promo disc for the Genesis Archive thing. And you've got a number of tracks, I think it's 12 tracks taken from the collection. And it's the real meat and potatoes of everything. You really get all the money shot all in one place. And look, there's the receipt. I kept the receipt. It's from the Music and Video Exchange in Camden, I believe. And Mrs. was good to me back in the day. She used to take care of me. And I don't know if you can read that. This is £9, I think, isn't it? £9? Yeah, £9. God blimey, God. And there you go. So it just promotes the box set, really. But it's a nice little addition to my collection, and I used to really enjoy playing this. Back in the day, if you wanted like the greatest, this is before MP3 players, and you wanted something for the car, just grab this CD and take it out. So there you go. That's the Genesis Archive 67 to 75. I'll hand you back to the other fellow. Take it away, Darren. Well, thanks for that, Darren. Very informative as usual. Oh, I remember buying this. It was the 22nd of June 1998. Oh, yes, indeed. I know exactly when, where and how, because I had an appointment to get to that day. But I decided that I'd go and buy this box set. But the tube station was the tube line was out of action, the central line. So I decided to go via the Victoria line, which was a decent walk, and that all went wrong, and I was going to be late for my appointment, but I managed to buy the box set and get back with about minutes to spare for the appointment I booked for that day. So I remember being very stressed by it and not being able to actually listen to the box set till later in the day, but I had it in my grubby little hands whilst I had this very important meeting. So it always takes me back to like a time of rushing around like a blue arse fly, thinking I could do everything at once. Today I'd have just ordered it on Amazon and it would have been delivered that day without me busting a gut. The good old days. But anyway, back to the box set. This is a curio. It's another curio. It's part live album and part archive release. The first two discs concern the Lamb tour, and it's taken from the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles, California, on the 24th of January 1975. And you get the whole of the Lamb album played out live. Now, they've taken a few liberties. Gabriel's re-recorded his vocals in places because he had, he was wearing the masks, the Slipper Men and all that. And things that he weren't happy with. And Steve Hackett also re-recorded some of his guitar solos. He overdubbed them. Some of the anal retentives, it drives them nuts that they didn't put it out, completely warts and all. Me, at that time, I didn't really care because it was the first time I'd heard the Lamb live in any context. So I was just absolutely thrilled by it. Yeah, you do notice Gabriel's voice age by about 20 years in places, but I'm a very forgiving fan, and I just remember I'm doing this review back from 1998. I remember getting this and just thinking it was marvellous because I'd never heard any of this music live. Nowadays it's probably not as much as a curio because we've got the internet and bootleg trading and this, that and the other, so it's probably fairly commonplace. But back in the day it was just the holy grail for me. It really was. I may have even shed a tear whilst listening to it. That's how emotional it was for me, because to me, The Lamb is a very important album, and to hear the whole thing played out in front of me was a big thing. So, you know, it was important. It had meaning, you know, and that's the sad thing about the internet, is it's kind of diluted the musical experience somewhat. You know, we don't have these. I don't have these peaks like you used to, because everything is so instantaneous, so switched on. You know, instant gratification. Whereas those days you had to wait for things, and you know. I'm getting misty-eyed with nostalgia. So disc 1 and 2 are taken up with Whole Lamb. It's very good. It sounds... I mean, I thought it sounded very good at the time. Very good performance. The sound recording is great. You really do feel like you're there. Again, I'm not one for live recordings, but this, you know, I think you really do need to hear it live, because I could never imagine them doing it, you know, hearing the album version and then how they translate into a live context. But they do it. They do it all as a 5-piece, and you know, it's all rather swell. Then we have disc 3. We have first 5 tracks are taken from the Rainbow Theatre in London, 20th October 1973. And you have Dance Moonlight, Firth the Fifth, More For Me, Supper's Ready, I Know What I Like. And again, to hear Supper's Ready live, other than like Phil Collins doing it on Seconds Out, but to hear Gable do Supper's Ready, oh, it blew my tiny mind. I was so excited by it all. Could have done without More For Me. I don't really like that song, but again, these are great tracks. But what's really interesting about the tracks on this CD is you get a few unusual offcuts, like Stagnation, a live version taken from Sounds of the 70s show, which is different. You get the a version of Twilight Ale House, again, never heard it before, or Happy the Man, never heard that, and the singles version of Watcher of the Skies, the shortened, edited, punchy version. So again, these tracks were all new and exciting. Again, now they're commonplace. They've all been replicated on the big Genesis box sets that were out a few years back. So these are fairly commonplace. But at the time, wow, the first legitimate release. And disc 4, it's a bit of an unusual beast, because we have demos taken from the very first album, from Genesis to Revelation. I mean, those songs I'm not that big a fan of, but you also have versions of Dusk as well, which is quite interesting. But yeah, I mean, they're strange little demos. You can hear the band finding their way. You know, this is the music of young men finding their way. It's not stuff that you're going to go back to a lot, but it is interesting to hear for the first time, possibly the second time. You hear them developing, you hear them stretching, and it's unusual because it's kind of done in reverse chronological order. So it starts off fairly complex and gradually unravels and gets more simplistic as you go through the album. So when it comes to a rating, you know, I mean, I think it's a great package. I've only got one criticism, and that's the actual packaging of it, the booklet, the spine. You know, it's one of these glued up spines, very hard to stretch and move out. But I'm going to give it a strong 4 shepherds out of 5. That's 4 shepherds out of 5. Unfortunately, a lot of this stuff has been replicated later on the Genesis box sets that would come out. So, you know, I don't know if you need to pick it up if you've already got the box sets. Disc 4 is the stuff that hasn't been replicated. And then also in that little thing, you saw Genesis Archive promo disc, which has all the meat and gravy of the disc, and this is a 5 out of 5. I used to love playing this in the car whenever we went on long car journeys, so that was good fun. So that's it. My name's been Darren Ock. I've been talking about Genesis Archive 1967 to 75. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Thumbs up, you know the routine, and hopefully we'll do this all again soon. Only one more thing to say. Are you ready? Prog on.